Finding meaning with Christmas and Santa Claus. Oh, the lie. Oh, the lie of Santa Claus. I remember when I was told about Santa Claus and that he didn't exist. It broke me. And I was so angry that that lie was perpetrated. And then when I learned about the lie, I was like, what am I going to do with my kids? And I was lucky to have a mentor who was really good at lensifying things and looking at things from a different way. So here's a good way, a positive way to have a deeper meaning to Santa Claus and the idea of Santa Claus. For any way that you're looking at this. Because the first thing we want to do is just throw everything in the trash. And I was in a position where my wife at the time was into the Christmas thing and the Santa Claus thing and didn't have the same relationship with the lie. It was because integrity was such a big deal to me. But I recognized that if my folks had had a good reason to share with me what the lie was about, I would have seen it different, but I didn't have that lens. And so I had this kind of weird relationship with it with my daughter. And because it was like, I don't know that I want to put on this ruse and share in this. And now I see it completely different. And I love it. So if you're looking for a meaningful understanding of Santa Claus and Christmas, and this was how it was language to me, but I don't even know if I need those. Archetypally, it was explained to me to look at Santa Claus as Papa Noel. And what's the deeper meaning of it? Well, the first thing is it's a challenge to us adults because we create these identities of who we are. Are we good parents? And, and do we go out and provide? And yes. So what do I have to do as a father? I have to, if I'm going to put on the ruse of Santa Claus, well, I'm going to buy with value something for my child, and it's not going to have my label on it. I'm not going to be celebrated for the gift that's being given. It's coming from this other point of view. It's coming from this character, Santa Claus. So it's a challenge it can be a challenge to adults to give without expectation of receiving accolades and adoration. So the first challenge is, hey, I got you a PlayStation 5 and, I had to work 100 hours to create that money, whatever it is. And I'm giving credit to something else and somebody else, putting Santa Claus on it. So it comes as a challenge to us. So that's the first. And then we also have what is the child's relationship with that? Well, if we get rid of the naughty nice thing and just say that Santa Claus brings you gifts, there's this entity, this person, this mythical character that just gives you a gift because you are alive and you are worth celebrating. So it's also a bit of love mischief. It's about keeping a secret and how sometimes secrets have value. And so it's, what can you say to your child when they realize that there's no Santa Claus? And you can offer that, you can tell them, this is what the ruse is, and this is what it means. And you get to pass this. If you choose to do this, you get to pass this value on to them. And the value is that you're going to practice giving without putting your name on something. And you are going to play with the imagination of your child. And they get to experience being given something just because this character just gives of themselves. The kindness, that's where Santa Claus comes from, is this kind figure in the past. And so it can be a fun game. And then you can introduce that game to your child as a valuable tool to say, here's what it feels like to give. You get to experience giving without getting credit for something. And that's great. And then you can also create an imaginary story, and you can play in that imaginative story with your children. And then you bring them online and say, this is what it was. This is the value that this myth or this practice that we do every year. That's how we can connect at a deeper level and look at the world from a deeper level. So just a different way to relens popular ideas without throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So I hope you enjoyed this.